Hey y'all, it's Coach Cookie and I am here to meet all of your fitness needs. I'm excited. Come and see me. So I'm offering so much stuff here. I have dance fitness, and I'm talking about all kinds of dance, sexy dance, hip hop dance, line dance. Come see me. Good morning, y'all. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to another episode of Resilience Rising here on Mogul TV Network. I know y'all been tuning in, so y'all already know what I say every single time. Make sure you have liked, subscribed, and follow Mogul TV as well as Resilience Studios so you can get all the latest updates, all of the things that's going on. You can tap in and be loved on and poured into because that's what it's all about, y'all. All right? So make sure you do that. And tell a friend. Don't gatekeep. Girlies don't gatekeep. Share it with the world so we can all be amazing together. So this morning, I want to just talk to you a little bit. I was reading in my Bible. It was actually a Sunday school lesson that I kind of read, looked over. It was one of those things. It's the same story that we've heard multiple times if you've been in Black church anytime at all. But this time around, it hit my spirit a little bit different. So I wanted to just come and share that with y'all this morning because I feel like it may help somebody else. So the lesson that I read was Mark, I believe it is chapter 4, verses 35 through 41. But it's the story when Jesus is on the boat with the disciples and the storm comes up. Jesus is asleep in the bottom of the boat and the disciples are up top. They start freaking out like it's a storm. We about to die in this storm. They having a whole fit. So they go down, they wake Jesus up, and Jesus get up like, y'all up here tripping, thinking that y'all about to die, thinking that all these things about to happen, and you got me on board. How dare you? Why would you think that way? And so Jesus speaks the word, the storm calms down, and everything is great. So again, we've heard this story over and over and over again. Being in the church, a lot of it was memorizing key words, memorizing key scriptures, using the parable. I've heard it, we have storms in our life, but we just got to trust Jesus. And so we've heard that. I've heard that. I can't speak for everybody else, but I've heard that every time tied to this lesson. But as I read it this time, something different said in my spirit than what usually I'm hearing from the pulpit. So as I read through it, yes, I got the basis of everything. The storm is going on. They are freaking out. It's a story about having faith and trusting that Jesus is going to make sure that you're okay. But I also, in that moment, thought, we have storms for a reason. We have storms for a reason. Because that was a lesson that they needed to learn. Like we look at it that, they didn't have faith. But you got to look at the other side of that. They needed to be in that storm. And then that storm be calmed. So they could come out on the other side of it. And we say hindsight is 20/20. So they needed to look back and see the other side of it and see that, hey, it's okay. Things are going to be okay. Sometimes there are storms and things in our life that we need to go to. We need to be in. The storm is for a reason. We as people, we become a microwave generation. We want everything really fast. We don't want to struggle. We don't want to sit in anything. We just want it to be there, be there, be there. And it cannot be that way because one of my friends has said this. And when I tell you it stuck with me since then, but she said there are things that we will learn in pain that we could never learn in pleasure. There are some lessons in that storm that we need. Listen to that storm. As hard as it may be, sometimes you got to love on that storm, because that storm is taking you to a place of growth, of learning, of development that you never would have touched without being in that storm. I'm not going to tell you that storms feel good. I'm not going to tell you that storms are not scary. I'm not going to tell you that the storm going to last for a few seconds and things are going to be over, because that's not always the truth. Sometimes we are in storms for days, weeks, months, years, decades. People stay in storms for a long time sometimes. But in that storm, we have to remind ourselves that if I get through this storm on the other side, there's a reason for me to be here. There's a lesson in this. If I get to the other side, that is a blessing, and I'm going to look back and I'm going to be thankful for the growth that I've had while I was in this storm. I'm going to be thankful for the lesson that I got while I was in this storm. So we just have to sit in those sometimes in order to get where we're going. The other part that resonated with me, and this is just because I have accepted, I've realized that I have a gift of discernment. I sometimes, and my friends can tell you, sometimes we walk into a room with people that we don't know, we haven't met, have no clue about. And I will say, something don't feel right. Something with this person is not right. Something about them, and I always say, doesn't sit right with my spirit. Before I realized that was a spirit of discernment, I still felt like that. Like, oh, something just don't sit right with my spirit with this person. It's been times in past relationships where it's like, it's something. I don't know what it is, but it's something. And it's going to come out later on. And I leave it there. Because whatever it is going to come to forefront. But it's restless. So for me, that is a storm. That's an internal storm that sometimes I go through. But I've learned to not... We label it women's intuition. Women's intuition. And a lot of times it's tied to, oh, somebody cheating, whoever they with cheating. And I got women's intuition and it's going to show me. It's not always that. But sometimes when we have that uneasy feeling something is going on, you just need to, I'm going to bookmark that. Let me put that right over here. I'm going to journal about this feeling that I had. So if later on it does come out and it's something else, you know that your spirit had that storm. Your spirit was restless. Something didn't sit well within you. And it was a reason for that. I say this, and I have been around people recently to where don't know what it is. And I'm going to give you a perfect example. We were at church. And it was this girl... Not a girl, she was a woman that some just didn't sit right. I've been around her. I know who she is. Our children was in some of the same organizations, so we have crossed paths, sat in the same room, sat shoulder to shoulder multiple times. But I came across her at church and I was like, I don't know what it is, but it ain't rocking. It's not rocking. And it was to the point of, if I was there and she wasn't there, I'm able to get into praise and worship. I'm able to hear the word. I'm able to pay attention to what's going on. And then as soon as she comes through, I'm disconnected because I'm not restful. Did not know what it is, what it was, what the problem was. Just knew that my spirit did not sit well with her. And so I had a conversation with somebody about, I don't know what it is with this person, but it's something. It's something there. It's something that does not sit well with me, with this person. So then we had an incident where it all came to a head. So I was with other people that she knew, some of which were my children. She came down the line and she spoke to everybody in that line, skipped over me, but spoke to everybody else in that line. And I said, so you do something going on. You feel some type of way, huh? So at that point, the mama buried me, said, you're not going to play with my kids. You're not going to play in my face. So you done talking to my children. You done interacting with them because I don't know what it is that you have on your mind, but this ain't what you want. And so I cut that off. Don't speak to my kids. You can't speak to me. Don't speak to my kids. So we go through a little more time, and I'm on the phone with someone on FaceTime. The same girl that has been acting stank, and I did not say this. Prior to the didn't speak incident, there have been other times where he had been around, been in person, and she act like I'm not there, and I can act like you not here too. But she wouldn't speak, wouldn't interact, whatever else. And I'm on FaceTime with this person. She pops up in the background, and she waving, she smiling. Baby, you don't speak to me when we cross paths, so what are we doing today? So I look. I'm confused on what's going on and why we're acting like this and what we're having. I don't have no words for you because I'm not going to play on this phone with you. So we go on a little bit later, and some things are revealed on some messages that have been sent, some things that have been said, some inappropriate things that had occurred, and it all came to a full head. It was all right there on the table. Mind you, I've gone through, at this point, almost a year of being around this person and things not being settled and things not being right. So this just came to a full head a couple of weeks ago. But again, there was an internal storm that was brewing. I'm not knowing why. I ain't got the answers. Nothing has been revealed to me. Some just not sitting right with me. And after a while, it was all laid out. Thankful for that storm so that I didn't get into a situation where I'm trying to be friends with you or be in your face or talk to you or anything else. The whole while, you on some other stuff that you're sending to people, you're texting to people, you're saying to people, and I didn't know. But God will protect us sometimes by giving us a storm. But we just got to be willing to sit in that storm. So right now, as you're going through things, as times are happening, as things are uneasy and unsettled, as hard as it may be, I want you to be thankful for that storm. I want you to be in that storm trying to pull every lesson from this storm that you can get. I want you to be in that storm trying to get every encounter, every lesson, every blessing, every eye-opening moment that you can get. So that when you get to the other side of that storm, you've grown, you flourish, you blossoming. You got everything that you needed out of it to say, been there, done that, overcame that. We have to have that mindset that will keep us pushing and keep us growing and keep us getting to the next thing that we have in store. Because as long as you're here, you got purpose. You have something to work for. You have something to push forward for. And that's what I want to implement on you today. So as you go, y'all know I'm all about journaling. Write it down. What is your storm right now? What is going on with you right now? What is the thing right now that is stretching you, making you uncomfortable, bending you, but that you're not going to let break you? Sit in that storm. Grow in that storm. And have it as a testimony when we get to the other side of this storm. That is what I want to impart on y'all. Y'all know I love y'all. I love you. I love you. Stay in that storm. Get to the other side. Learn and grow in it. All right. Until next time, another episode of Resilience Rising. Over and out. Bye.